Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, December 19th, 2022, and welcome to the Java Cafe. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I don't know if the Java just kicked in or I got some rest after a very not too eventful weekend, but I went out Saturday night with Boston While Black and I rested yesterday. Let's just put it like that. Listen, it's Monday. Dr. Brandy, fortunately, Dr. Brandy is en route on her way back from her vacation, so she will not be with us today. But, however, based on what we talked about last week about a healthy me in 2023, we're going to continue the conversation, and I'm curious as to who did their homework. Remember last week we talked about how we can assess our health. We talked from an article that talked about there are 5 areas in which we can do sort of an assessment on our health. And those areas are physical, intellectual, and somewhat I added wellness, social, financial, and spiritual. And what I asked you to do was to write those words down in a list and then give yourself a grade about where you are in those areas. And then also I ask you to look at reasons why you gave yourself that particular grade. And so we're going to go into that in just a few moments. But when I'm by myself, I'm able to go into the cafe and chat with everyone and say good morning. So let's go into the cafe and see who was the first one in or saying hello this morning. And that is Leslie. And I always say guilty, but I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. So tell me tomorrow evening how to pronounce it correctly. But good to see you in the Java Cafe this morning. Hopefully you got the email with the alto part, but good to see you. Mama Java is in the room. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. Pastor Marion, good morning to you. Just want to actually, it is definitely funny because Facebook has this new feature where you can highlight those that are active on your page or platform. And so it's very funny that Leslie, Mama Java, and Pastor Marion are the first 3 that popped in this morning, because I believe, if I remember right, it was the 3 of them that, according to Facebook, not me, Pastor Marion, I think, had the highest points of engagement, then Mama Java, and then Leslie. So thank all 3 of you. I don't take that lightly. But to all of you who are here with us this morning, do me a favor, hit that share button and invite others to be in the Java Cafe this morning. Thank you in advance. Tasha, good morning. I saw that things went very well yesterday. I was unable to make it, but shout out to you. Hopefully you're resting today and getting some rest, because I know putting a service together and everything that you did. But shout out to Tasha. You all show her some love in the comments and let her know that you appreciate her work. And Tasha also received an award from District Attorney Kevin Hayden for her advocacy. And so, Tasha, to go back to 2018, when you begin to get resolve around what was going on with your situation, and to see how you have flourished into this powerful, effective, consistent advocate in this space for victims, we salute you and celebrate you on today. Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Dr. Drumright, good morning. Dr. Drumright, I didn't see you in church yesterday. Over at the temple. Good to see you in the room this morning, sir. Hopefully you're taking care of yourself and getting some downtime and rest. Auntie Java, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. Now that I'm seeing your name, I'm wondering, I think it was Leslie Ma and Pastor Marion, but it could have been you too, Auntie Java. I'm not sure, but your name popped up somewhere in there as one of the top folks. So Auntie, thank you as well. Thank God for family, because let's keep it 100. Nobody can critique you. and nobody can support you like your blood and your own family. So I'm appreciative to have my family that comes in and supports daily. Definitely thank God for y'all. Sharon Cornelius. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Sharon, can you let me know if you got your 10 apart? I emailed it out on Saturday, so it should be in your inbox. If not, both you and Leslie, check your junk and spam folders to make sure it's in there. Opal, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Opal, you popped up on there as well. Well, never mind, because I'll get distracted on the phone. But I think from memory, I got that right. If anybody's seen the post, let me know if I messed up. I got the date right this morning, so I'm allowed to mess a little something up. Tashad, listen. Tashad, good morning to you. And I know that I believe Kania may have had, the overall responsibility as a member engagement director. But Tashad, to you and Shakir and definitely Kania, thank you so much for creating a space on Saturday for us to come and relax and have a good time and hang out and fellowship. About 200 people registered, I believe, that was there at the event on Saturday evening, and it was dope. It was really dope. So just a little plug, come February for Black History Month, if you're not a member of Boston While Black, please consider joining. I am a member. Heidi Ivy is a member. Tashad is a member. So please consider joining Boston While Black when membership opens in February. I think I am caught up. Guidi. Okay, so Leslie Guidi. Looks like you're used to you have it phonetically spelled. Looks like you're used to telling people how to properly pronounce your name. Trust me, I have to tell people, believe it or not, it's Hills, not Hill. There are multiple Hills here. So Leslie Guidi. Let's definitely remember that. Miss Teresa, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Good. All right. Wait a minute. Hold on here. All right. I like that profile picture, that hat you got on. Did you make it? I'm messing. Let me stop. All right. I think I am caught up with the comments. Absolutely, sis. We're glad you had a great time. Absolutely. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you. Nicole, I missed your Christmas tree last week. I gotta I think you said you tagged me, so I need to go look for it. But either tag me in the comments again so I can see it. Stan, good morning, brother. Good to see you in the room, sir. Good morning to you this morning. All right. I believe I am caught up with I'm telling Teresa I love her hat, and she nicely just told me it's her daughter's. Teresa, you definitely get it. Tamisha, good morning. I was just saying how awesome it is to have family in the room supporting you, because y'all know me better than most, good, bad, and ugly. So I'm appreciative of having family in here and our extended family as well. Teresa, I'm glad you finally put your Christmas tree up. Mine has been up for almost 3 weeks or so. Tamisha, she said, I hate the Hill. People call us Hill all the time. James Hill. That is not my name. Now, my nickname from Pastor Dickerson is Jimmy Hill. He drops the S and it's just Jimmy Hill. It's been like that since 1990. But anyway, Asiya, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. I'm so glad that you were able to pop in, or at least I believe after watch Darren on Friday. And thank you so much for raising that. What stood out to you about Friday was that Darren was naming his journey and where he is in the service. And I had referenced that, we were glad to have Darren on, but unfortunate the topic and a comment I made to you. And when you responded back that was the piece that stood out, that was very encouraging, because one of the things that we did highlight is some of the frustrations and things that contributed to, not having that big event. And then Darren moving back into a space where in 2023, he's saying, it's about me in 2023. And so we're going to continue the conversation about service. Next year's an election year. We're going to go in and get ready to talk about the second part of the mental health piece there. Wait a minute. When you said your nickname is Gigi, so is that coming up in the comments, or are you telling us yours is Gigi because they calling me Jimmy Hill? Where did they get Gigi from Nicole? I'm sorry. Because it's weird. Like they get Dick from Richard, Bill from William, Elizabeth, what's the one that is so weird? Betsy, Beth. There's one that's weird. I think I can't remember what it is. Gigi from Nicole. We need some history on that. Leslie, I put my Christmas tree up yesterday, sprayed it with. Leslie Guidi's favorite color, like I have, one is red and hers is orange. So Leslie's Christmas tree, instead of smelling like pine, smells like oranges. All right, Leslie, I'm not mad. Miss Rena, good to see you in the room this morning. Good to see you in the room. Aha, intentional self-care moment. Good to see you in the room this morning. Also, Tashad is saying, oh, is that the secret? I forgot. They hate citrus. Trees hate. Wait, Leslie, I hope you're not. Oh, the cats. Okay, I need to read the whole comment. Once I saw orange from you, Leslie, I didn't even finish reading. All right, let's get into our homework assignment from last week. In the comments, do me a favor for the 17, 18 of those of you that are in here. Just say yes or no if you did the homework. The homework was to make a list, and that list consisted of 5 areas. One is physical. The second one is intellectual and wellness. The third one is social. Fourth one is financial. And the fifth one is spiritual. The second part of the assignment was for you to give yourself I'm over here looking at the comments. Oh, wait a minute. Tashad, thank you. I caught that after the fact. I'm going to do better at reading the entire comment. Pastor Marion said, no, she didn't do her homework. So y'all go get a piece of paper right now and catch up real quick because I can't see. Thank God for y'all integrity and honesty, because y'all could just front and say, and Teresa won't come out and say, no, she didn't do it. What she said was, well, I am shocked and appalled. Tashad, you was busy. You know, you had to get our event together. And I know that y'all were, let me not get in trouble. Mother, Ma, you didn't do your homework? Oh my goodness. All right, so you can't go into your, notes app on your phone because you're watching me, unless you're on YouTube. It'll stay on. If you're watching me on YouTube, this will still play. You can listen in the background. And Nicole's going to give us her context for Gigi. You know what, Teresa? Don't talk to me. I'm not. Anyway. All right, Nicole, and then we're going to go into our homework. Well, what is now becoming part 2 of classwork, I guess. My actual name is Gabriella Hartgrove. Oh, you putting the whole government. Listen, don't put the whole government out there. Nicole is my middle name, and Hart is short for Hartgrove. My family and friends have called me Gigi since I was a baby. All right, well, Gigi Java. Or Java Gigi. That's going to be your nickname up in here. Okay, here we go. So last week, let's talk about, Pastor Marion said, ask the questions and we can put the answers in on the spot. All right, we can do this in real time as we do often. So physical, what would you get? And you all are going to that are going to participate. You're going to wind up being very transparent here. So share at your own comfort level, as they say. Physical, what would you give yourself physically when it comes to your health? All right. What would you give yourself physically when it comes to your health? And we did a little breakdown of the areas last week. If you did not see it, I encourage you to go back the next Monday and watch it. What grade do you give yourself in your physical health? I'm going to give myself, while you all are doing it, I'm going to give myself a C-. We'll go into context in a couple of minutes. Let's see what folks are. My mother will listen. My mother, before people will comment, will let you know who's in the room. Because when she sees that name, Ma, you are the cafe greeter. Because as soon as they pop up on her Facebook, she's like, hi, Keys, good to see you in the room this morning. Oh, I saw somebody put 45. Good to see you in the room this morning. And Teresa is sharing that we should never call her Terry. I don't think we have. So, all right, we're good. All right, let's go to these grades, everybody. Leslie Guidi with the orange scented tree to keep the cat away. That just worked out for you. So I'm going to leave that there. But an orange scented tree. Tashad is giving herself a C for physical. Pastor Marion is giving herself a numeric grade, which is 45. And when I was last in school, 60 and below, 60 was where you got the F, I believe. Pastor Marion, listen, we're going to be here and work together and support you. Nicole is giving herself, Gigi Java is giving herself a C minus. Leslie said, because I'm a snacker, chips and gummies. That's my issue. Rochelle, now listen. Okay, so Rochelle, the superstar, as I call her, Rochelle is an avid runner, and she takes care of herself by being physically active on a consistent basis and running. Her, and we haven't seen our sister Gail in a long time. But Rochelle, shout out for you for that 85%. I believe 85 is like a B plus, a B plus, I guess. So shout out to you. Just going forward, everyone, we're doing letter grades, so I don't have to sit here and try to remember what the numbers were when they got converted over to a letter, because I've been out of school since 1990. That's a long time. Anyway, Pastor Marion gave herself a C. Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Stan said a C minus, but Stan, let's also name that you were dealing with you were dealing with a, what is classified as a chronic illness. And so you have to give yourself grace, to do that. All right. Quincy, can we take a field trip after class? Professor Bill, they have 60%. That's a little cold that Quincy has in there. Quincy, I took a field trip yesterday. But I will, if I don't hit you by like 10:10, hit me. And we can check in, sir. All right. Miss Teresa is giving herself a physical, a C minus or a D. Miss Teresa, all that warehouse work that you do in the Amazon minus, I was going to say cafe, the Amazon warehouse, the Amazon minus warehouse. You probably in better physical shape than a lot of us. I'm messing. Tashad said she's a snacker as well. So maybe let me make a note here. And the note that I'm making is, I wonder if there is any correlation between snack. Is there any mental, and I'm not messing with y'all trying to diagnose or put anything on y'all, but smoking, snacking, and even sometimes eating for some could be habitual from what they call the hand to mouth. And I wonder if there's, and then also we know that sometimes that different types of food, more heavier foods, are referred to as comfort foods. But I'm wondering, I just had the thought when I seen snacking again, if there's any correlation with anything, either, anxiety, stress, or when we're active, are we just, snacking? But let's also name in tomorrow's Healthy Java, let's name that there's this term called grazing, that you can kind of snack on healthier snacks throughout the day. And so let me just make a note that we're going to need to talk about snacking somewhere. If it's not on your Healthy Java, maybe somewhere else. Sister Debbie gave herself a D. I really appreciate all of you being transparent and honest this morning. This is good for us. We're going to grow and work together. Yes, Keys, Ma was calling you out as soon as you popped up on her Facebook saying it. Rachel Clinton is watching with you. Miss Teresa said 60 was a D. Sharon Cornelius gave herself a C. Listen, as much as the reason and as much as I bother Sharon when she is out there looking wonderful, how can I say, Sharon and as our wonderful queens do, they age gracefully. And so Sharon, you definitely see, I would tell you to be a B minus, because as one of our seasoned members and mothers in here, you be holding it down. So don't be hard on yourself. And Rochelle, you don't be too hard on yourself as well. And I know, as someone who's an avid runner, don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. All right. Ma gives herself a C minus. Ma, make sure you're hydrating. Teresa, thanks for your help with that. But make sure you're hydrating and get up sometimes and just walk around the house, bend over a little bit, touch the couch, stand up, touch the seat of the couch, stuff like that. All right. Teresa said, show off. Misha, there was homework. Oh, my, whatever, Misha. Oh, my dog ate it. Like she eats everything else. Like she chewed on one of your shoes. I like any place that has 60%. Tashad, yes, snacking can be self-soothing mechanisms if I'm stressed. And so, Tashad, thank you for being transparent because I know gummies is, and I'll be honest and transparent. In the last week, I don't know if it's because of the holidays. I don't know if it's because I'm dealing with something with my landlord that the gummies, there were like 3 nights last week where I had gummies 3 nights in a row. I will give myself grace and credit. I used to buy 2 and 3 bags and tell myself that they were up for the next few days. And somewhere from when I purchased them and by the time the morning got here, all 3 bags would be gone. Don't y'all judge me. Yes, I used to eat 3 bags of gummies in one day. Anyway, so Tashad, thank you for naming that. Teresa is saying mine's is for lack of sleep, depression, and anxiety. We're going to need to talk about sleeping again too, and maybe ways that we can help ourselves to get more rest. Nicole is saying eating a walnut sticky bun at work. Don't come for listen, you know, having that with a cup of coffee, but just keep in mind that you're going to hit that sugar peak. And so that's one of the things with snacking, especially in the morning, because we crash. And so just keep that, not to call you out, Gigi Java, but just keep that in mind with that wonderful sticky bun. Leslie is saying, what do you call a dancing cow? What do you call a dancing cow? A milkshake. I'm not messing with you. Ma said always up and down. Absolutely do that. But then stretch too, Mom, because, and ask me how I know. Stretch too, because that gets those muscles and joints in place that often somebody put up a meme the other day that said that they're at the age that reaching for the remote can put you down for 2 days. They ain't lying. I told Newt yesterday, DJ Newt, I was with him. I said, I'm at a point that every other month it's something new. Saturday morning, I got up and I must have fell asleep. I fell asleep on the couch and had my feet crossed and must have had the back of my heel somewhere wrong. Went to get up and walk. I was praying, Lord, don't let this be my Achilles tendon or what the heck is going on. Listen, every other month, there's something that I'm praying that Jesus let it go away. Something new, body parts and stuff that I didn't even know had feelings. Anyway, Misha is saying, eating and snacking. I've definitely slipped up with that since Thanksgiving, but I'm back on my healthy eating. Absolutely, Misha. Leslie said that barbecue chips is her kryptonite. Teresa is saying, I'm not taking any credit for my gummy, for the, I did well. I did well with that bag. That bag lasts. Keys, when I track food, it helps me a lot with what I eat and help guide me. Food trackers are good too, or just making a note. I know when you start up with nutritionists, they actually ask you to do a few days of writing down everything that you consumed. And so that's a good thing as well. Tamisha said, oh yeah, gummies, they'd be the devil. Rochelle is saying running is my therapy, so I make sure I get it in. Absolutely good things there. All right, guys, we got to get ready to move on. It is 9:26 and we still got 4 areas left. Ma is saying, can't limit it. I have rods in my back, so if I turn the wrong way, I'm down. All right, Ma has to limit it, so we understand that. Misha said she's back on her food tracking on Samsung Health. Misha, you got a droid? Anyway, getting into the second area. So one of the things that we keep in mind, because we won't go into the whys here, but keep in your mind why. Tashad shared sometimes stress. My gummies is, I think it's just the sugar addiction, to be very honest. But let's get ready to go into intellectual and wellness. What would you give yourself as a grade when it comes to, and I'll frame it like this, prioritizing your wellness? Last week, we talked about improving our intellect in the means of learning different languages, taking a different route to work, doing things that cause your brain to become reinvigorated to do different things. And so that's part of it. But in Mental Health Mondays, we talk a lot about wellness. So let's stick to that vein for now, but keep in mind and in your back pocket that part of that wellness is challenging yourself to learn a new language, maybe learn some new software. I'm getting ready to dabble into some editing software. Do things that challenge your intellect. All right. But wellness, what would you give yourself? What grade would you give yourself when it comes to prioritizing your wellness? There are examples like saying no. There are examples like be intentional about your self-care. There are examples about having tools, as Carlos talked about on Thursday, when you have situations to, kind of ground yourself and be present, smell. What can you smell? What can you see? What can you taste? What can you hear? So what do you give yourself for a grade as far as prioritizing your mental wellness? All right, let's go with that. Ain't nothing wrong with a droid. Whatever, Ma. I'm going to judge y'all. Misha says, always, baby, team. Anyway, let's get to more things that are focused. Leslie gives herself an A when it comes to, I like this. Y'all are coming good with the wellness. Okay. I can see the comments before I put them up. So Leslie, I give myself an A. Pastor Marion, I give myself a B. Ma said down. I don't know if that's in reference to, Ma said she's down with droid. Whatever, Ma. Stan said he gives himself a B plus. That is dope. Tashad said a B for intellectual wellness. I read often and have been studying, practicing French for a while. I need to get my mental intellectual wellness back. What is the word I thought I knew how to say? Je m'appelle James. That's about it. 1, 2, 3, 14. Anyway. Hi, Tashad. All right. Tashad is taking French. Leslie is saying, I don't like to be bored, so I do different things, learn stuff. So Leslie, I saw and witnessed last week during the pandemic, Leslie taught herself how to play piano. So that one is one of the things, and I'll park here for a second, and my mother can, and my aunt and Misha can attest to this. My grandfather's body broke down as I took care of him in his last days. But his intellect, and so my grandfather went blind. I was about 9. I won't do the math, but he went blind, and he had to learn Braille. He learned how to make leather goods like wallets. He was already doing some pottery, I think, with my grandmother and stuff, and my aunt. They used to make candles and do all that stuff. He learned pottery, and also Braille, and he learned how to play the piano. Blind. And so my grandfather was physically, his body just, for whatever reason, he had diabetes and just, it was an issue. Whew, I just realized how much I missed him. Where we at? Physically, his body, broke down, but mentally, Gramps was on it. Even to when I would take him to church and Bishop would talk about loose women, Grandpa would, that's right. There's loose women out here. Amen. Anyway, let me stay focused. All right. Sewing is definitely something that Ma crochets knit. So that's something to do to keep your intellect together. Y'all are really going in on the mental health piece and the intellect. I love that. All of us got to bring balance to the mental and physical because they're all, part mental health. Mental wellness is health. Teresa said, I'm always learning due to my crafting, resin, and clothing. Absolutely. Floozies. Anyway, Teresa uses language when we talk on the phone sometimes that I don't remember hearing outside of my grandmother. Old school stuff. Floozies, huzzy. Teresa didn't say that. I'm just saying that. All right. You all did well with the intellectual and wellness. All right. Tashad, you automatically get an A+ in this area just based on your full-time job and just what you do, but also your personality. Social. What would you give yourself as far as your social, your interactions, your inner circle, those that you chat with, that you deal with on a regular basis? Do you keep in touch? Do people keep in touch with you? What grade would you give your social experience? And we do have to keep some level of a mental wellness lens with that, but what is your social circle? What does your social level look like? Yes, let's keep in mind, one, we're going into winter, but we're talking in the context of 2022 as we transition over to 23. So in all of these aspects, even though we're at the third one, think from this year's perspective going forward for the next 2 areas, okay? What grade would you give your social interaction? How is that helping you? Pastor Marion said an A+. Sharon Cornelia said a B. Leslie said a B. Teresa said social A plus. I don't know why. You do. Very social and checking in. Yes, I agree. I give myself an A in social as well. It's the only area I get an A in right now. Listen, we'll celebrate your. I was going to celebrate your A. Rochelle said, I got a dope circle. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Pastor Marion said, mentoring and counseling has increased because of all of that going on. So that's dope, Pastor Marion. I'm presuming that you're saying you're doing that and that social interaction. But that's a little bit of work, Pastor Marion, on the mentoring. And if you enjoy doing that, that is very social. But if you were saying that you're doing a lot more mentoring and counseling, just balance that. I was going to say, sis, ma'am, with, taking care of yourself. Ma gives herself an A plus on the social piece. Sister Debbie gives herself a B on the social piece. Leslie said, I know a lot of people. Sometimes that can be good and bad. We'll talk about that later. Nicole gives herself, or Gigi Java gives herself a B. Miss Teresa said, and I did say hussy. Stan said he gives himself a D, not what I or it B plus used to be. Got that. And I understand some of the context of with that, Stan. And to some extent, you got to be very intentional because COVID and stuff is going on. You got to take care of yourself, man. So understood. And don't be too hard on yourself about what used to. It's real, and as we chatted, don't be too hard, sir. Misha said, I'm pretty social, but I'm learning I have to stay to myself and be stingy with me, especially after the year I've had. So Misha's talking in the year's context. People don't appreciate or love you the same in return. What was I? Give and receive, receive and give. I was watching something or listening to the Audible book, but I heard a lot about the inbound. Or was it Carlos on Thursday where we talked about the receive, the receive, the receive? Oh, no, Darren on Friday. So there has to be that reciprocation of giving and receiving. And if, I ain't took a sip. So this has been good today because I ain't took a sip at all. If you give and keep giving out of this cup, it's eventually going to get empty. And one thing that Bishop Bragg taught us is you don't even give out. When your cup is full, you shouldn't even give out of your cup when your cup is full. What should you give out of is the overflow. Now, this is a different cup. When I was growing up, there was what we would refer to as a cup and saucer. And the only way I can do it for the youngins that may be watching or folks that are not familiar, when you go to high tea or sometimes even coffee in a restaurant, and I want some dishes, and I've been looking at dish sets and they don't sell a lot of them that have the tea, the cup and saucer. But what you're supposed to do, hold on. Let me do it. I'm doing a couple of things here, and this cup is heavy, but I can't do it right. You're supposed to give, when your cup is full, there would be an overflow. You ever have somebody pour something for you and they're not paying attention and the cup overflows? You shouldn't even give out of your full. You got to give out of the overflow, that flow that goes into the saucer. Because even if you give out, if you're full, you begin to deplete your cup. So you can't really give out until you have an overflow. So that piece that who was talking about it, and Misha, you got to try to find some balance there that you don't give out so much that you deplete yourself. When you fill yourself back up, pause and then fill yourself up some more into the overflow. I felt that, Jesus. All right, we got 2 more areas to go and it's 9:37. Pastor Marion, I love it. No to say, we'll talk later. That's a good one. We'll talk later. Well, the thing about that is, and as Carlos mentioned, if you're saying this, Pastor Marion, I love it. I know to say, we'll talk later. Absolutely. All right. So you're definitely following up, and then coming from you want to keep your word. All right. Not time for much social, much mentoring and ministering. Sharon, you as well. You want to keep up that wonderful mother. You got to take care of yourself. And so don't take too much on. All right. And I know your daughter wouldn't, but Teresa is saying, Tamisha Hills, I appreciate the love, boo. Where did I All right, Misha, let me stay focused. Misha and Teresa having their own conversation. Soraya, sister Soraya, good to see you in the room this morning. Good to see you. All right. You know all about putting that pinky out bougie. I do. But not when, believe it or not, naturally, my pinky doesn't go out. My pinky stays in. I'll be very honest. It may have a couple of times at one point, and you know, Carlos talks about, boy, put that pinky in. Somewhere I may have heard that. I don't know. Stan is saying, great analogy, bro. Full cup was emptied. Now I'm back to fill it. Heck yeah. Almost made me cuss, Stan, because you know, heck yeah, it needs to be followed up with something to really make the point. All right, we are caught up. All right, so you all did pretty well in the intellectual and social, physical. We still, you know, all of us still have some challenges. Financial. Let's go into the financial. What grade do you give yourself financial? If you're just tuning in and wonder what the hell we're doing, like we're in some workshop, we are talking about a healthy me in 23. We gave the viewers 5 areas in which they were to grade themselves. And then we're going to talk, well, they're going to do their homework this week and talk about why they gave themselves their grade. And we'll introduce the second part toward the end here. It's 9:39. What grade do you give yourself when it comes to your financial health? Are you practicing good stewardship? Are you being intentional about not going out and spending $2,000 to buy everybody gifts and whatnot, and then you spending the next 6 months making payments on your credit card? Anyway, all right. Financial area isn't, and I'll give mine. Did I give mine for social? Social, my grade, I'll give myself, y'all know me. I'll give myself like for the year, for social, I'll give myself a B-. I think in the beginning of the year, I was still indoor events and whatnot. Y'all know I was traveling a little bit, but I didn't even travel as much this year. I would give myself a B- for my social. All right, financial, let me give my grade and then we'll go into the others. Financial, I will give myself like a D or a D-. Got to do better with stewardship. And I'm good with stewardship, but some of it is in here. For the business, I put that on Excel, but then I got to remember to go back and update it and check it. But I'm talking personal here for myself. Got to practice better stewardship outside of my brain, because I'll calculate one thing in my brain, go spend or do something, and then look at the account, and what I have in my brain is not what Santander says. So I give myself about a D- because, and I'm being real, I can do better at tracking what's personal, what's business. And so I have to do better with that. So I'll be very real. Let's go in for the others and see. Rochelle gives herself a B-. I'm getting excited because I think the heat just came on and I'm hot. Excuse me. Rochelle gives herself a B-. Pastor Marion gives herself an A+ for being debt free. Shout out to you, Pastor. There is nothing like, I feel good just alone paying bills, putting chunks on credit cards instead of the minimal payment. Let me just park here. Never ever make a minimal payment on your credit card. If you can't make the double payment, or if you can't put almost a third down, I would also suggest that when you're using your credit card, almost treat it like cash. You know, if you buy something for $400 and you know in the next couple of weeks you're going to be able to put $350 on your credit card, you know, that little 50, you know, make that up in the next payment or something. But, you know, one, treat your credit card to an extent like it's cash. Let's park and balance and also name, and I'll be transparent. Some of us, we go through situations where we may not have cash on hand, but still got to take care of business, and we use that credit card. That's a balance, but keep in mind, don't let that. You want to keep your debt and credit ratio. Now, generally, they say around 30%. You should only use around 30% of your credit. Someone said to me, for Black folks, you need to try to keep it at 10% and below. And so that's my goal, to try to keep my credit usage at about 10% or below. So I got there because Pastor Marion was talking about debt-free and how beautiful it is. And I said, don't go into debt on this holiday. And that's how we got there. Leslie is saying, still learning, still trying to learn. Nicole said F, bills. Listen, you sound like what was the group? Can you pay my bills? Then more bills, seven up bills. What was it? Destiny's Child. That's what that song reminds me of. That's real. That's real. Teresa said financial A minus B plus. I'm pretty good with budgeting and financial planning. Good, good, good. Sister Debbie said A plus. Good for you. I miss Heidi in here this morning. Finance is her area. Have a new business and learning. All right, Leslie, good for you. C for financial for Tashad. I plan on diversifying my investing and saving more, spending more wisely in the upcoming year. Tashad, I would say up that a little bit as the facilitator here. Let's give you a B minus or a B. The fact that you said you're diversifying your investing. Some of us haven't made any investments. I'll be very honest and transparent. I'm probably going to have to work and hustle. Well, no, I'm not, because I believe that I'm going to be blessed and highly favored. God hopefully will wink at not what was ignorance, but wink at my lack of good stewardship. And in these next 5 years, I'm going to be blessed and become a millionaire, and I'll be all set through, when I retire. Y'all lift your hands and say amen in Jesus' name. But Tashad, up that to about a B minus, because some of us haven't made investments. And so the fact that you're talking about that, I think is very, very good. Stan is saying for his finances, see, post midlife crisis, got some spending. I need to learn how to stand. Wow, y'all are very affirming. Stan, that piece about investing, absolutely. Sister Soraya said social. I'm out and about, but I still wear my. Yes, Sister Soraya. Yes, ma'am. Because I'll be honest with y'all, testing has went up a little bit in this social piece. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know what I would do if one of them tests came back positive at this late date. Anyway, when we were getting those government checks during the pandemic, listen, that was $2,400 a month that folks were getting. And I broke down here and cried with y'all one day talking about, y'all may see and look one thing, but I was on unemployment for a while. And that $2,400, listen, whew, I thought I turned the heat down. It is hot. Well, I'm a little excited and got this sweater and hat on, but I'm going to rush up and get off of here because heat, coffee, and getting excited, it's not a good mix. Sister Sarai gives herself a B in her finances. We got one more to go, spiritual, and I know some of y'all are going to go in. Teresa says, in your defense, Santander is wrong. Thank you very much. But let me tell you this, whether Santander is wrong or not, you let something go in there and it ain't covered, Santander will sure help me get it right, Jesus. All right. We are catching up. B is B and getting better. Absolutely. I think Soraya said I am on time paying credit down, but still owe a lot. So a C. All right. I need a financial advisor. Leslie, there are some good ones out there. I can't think of names. I can just see faces. Tashad and I have been in events, and a lot of them move in that space. Let's chat tomorrow. And what I can do is go on Facebook and see if there's a couple of folks that I can, you can inbox and say, hey. Also, Leslie, if you go to the BECMA, if you Google BECMA, BECMA.org, the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, I think they have a list of Black-owned businesses. And so maybe you can navigate and see if there are financial advisors that BECMA offers as well. But we can check in tomorrow quickly about that. Tashad said, okay, I'll take the scaled grade of a B minus for financial. Yes, I have the right to do that this morning as your cafe professor. Tashad said, you will be a millionaire. Jimmy, it's coming. It's coming. And I told folks all my life, when I become a millionaire, I'll be a millionaire for 3 days. First day, get the property, get set up. Second day, get the staff and do what I want to do. And the third day, get the opening and all the programming and plan for, I would have one of the most fully comprehensive wraparound wellness, health available, screening. Listen, partnership with Tashad, thank you. I believe that as I felt my right shoulder go up, Jesus. Teresa, losing some with crypto, but other investments. That's an interesting. All right. Y'all have already given me, I can't talk. Crypto. Y'all have already given me subjects for 3 subjects for next year. All right, let's speed this up. We got one more to go. Oh, Tashad, you done tapped into Mama Java. She said, speak over him. Nikki, good morning, sweet. Nikki, did you do your homework? You know the 5 areas that we talked about last week. Did you do your homework? Ma gives herself a C in her financial. All right, we are caught up. Toy, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Shout out to you for the wonderful event you had yesterday. Toy, we're talking. Toy, did you do your homework? I don't know if you were in here last week, but we talked about 5 areas. Physical, we're getting ready to wrap up, but if you're just coming in, last week we talked about health. 5 areas of doing a health assessment, a healthy me in 23. 5 areas were physical, intellectual, and wellness, social, financial, and spiritual. We are currently in financial. Scroll up in the comments, go back and watch later to see what's going on. Generally, if you're just tuning in, but Toy, that's just a quick overview. I am claiming that million in Jesus' name. And Toy, if it comes from a nonprofit, does that mean 100,000 goes to our conduit? Can you imagine? I'm gonna be like, can you name one of the peace rooms after me? No, sir. Can we call it the Java Peace Room? I'm messing. Toy, good to see you in the room this morning. Good to see you in the room, especially here on Mental Health Mondays. All right. The last one. Now, this is for majority. You all know I am a man of faith, and specifically around a Judeo background Christian faith. And so when we talk about spirituality, if anyone differs from that, please excuse a lot of references when we talk about spirituality to the Bible, the Holy Ghost, and things like that. And so don't want to be offensive to anyone. I'm very ecumenical. I'm stern in what I believe and my central theology. Now, some of the not deep, but some of the church folks, y'all know some of my peripheral things may be a little different from what y'all knew of Elder Hills, but what is the grade that you give yourself when it comes to your spiritual health in whatever you believe? Are you consistent? The word religion comes from not verbatim, but a consistent set of practices. You're religious. Rochelle runs religiously. I'm on Java with Jimmy Monday through Thursday at 9 religiously. All right. So what do you give yourself for a grade? And in that, are you consistent? Do you feel a peace and benefit from either the spiritual experience, meditating, praying, worshiping? And then do you see a impact maybe on the tenets that come from your faith? You know, loving humanity, helping your fellow man. You know, the yoga practice has a lot. Do no harm to none, or do no harm. I forgot, but I got to talk to my brother Mike yesterday, y'all. He'll be back on soon. Keep Yoga Mike in y'all prayers. Mothers, y'all on assignment. Y'all keep Yoga Mike, add him to the prayer list. All right. All right. What grade do you give your spirituality? We're getting ready to wrap up, and we got one major thing to do before we go. After the spiritual, I need to give y'all an assignment, 2 assignments, and then we'll wrap up and get ready to go. For Pastor Marion spiritual, I'm not surprised by this one, Pastor. Duh. A+, I invest time in my personal relationship with and growth in Christ. I also assist in teaching, encouraging, and counseling others along as well. Leslie gives herself an A. Y'all ain't playing with the spiritual. Ma gives herself a B+. Rochelle gives herself a B. Ma said I could do better, and I plan to, absolutely. But Ma, give yourself, as Jesus did, grace. Teresa said spiritual A+. God is the only way I made it through. Listen, and I know that testimony, Teresa. So God is the only way I made it through the last 3 years of my life. And Hansel and double E's, not no darn Hansel and Gretel. Nicole said I fall short every day, but I ask God to guide my steps. I would say, let me take facilitator privilege and put that up to a B-, because there's a lot of people that fall short and don't have any thought of not repentance, any reflection, anything like I could do better. So up yours to a B-. Leslie said, since pandemic, I've had a strong relationship with God. Ma said, Yoga Mike, we're praying for you. Tashad said, C for spiritual, definitely need to be more consistent with prayer, meditation, and Bible study. Absolutely. Sharon Cornelia said A constant. Toy said an A-. Sister Debbie said an A. constant or consistent sharing. Either one of those can apply. All right. So that's the spiritual piece where you all have given yourself a grade. Now, here is the second part of this assignment. In the areas where, and generally speaking, physical and financial were the two areas where I saw the most lower end of the grades as you all were doing your self-assessment. But in all the areas after this conversation today, and we will I'm going to be on next Monday, the day after Christmas. And so next week, because we're getting ready for the first week in January, we have a wonderful doctor. If you all remember, Coach Meg came in with us from MGH last year. She's coming back. And while I'm talking about MGH, let me get my flyer queued up for tomorrow. But what I'm going to ask you all to do by next Monday, and seriously put thought into it, you may not have to write it out, but be in a mindset where you have not given yourself an A or a B. And a lot of you have made reference to doing better in certain areas. So if you're at an A minus, how can you get yourself to an A plus? There's always room for improvement. What are two ways that you are going to try to improve those areas of your life? What are things that you can measure? Rochelle said she wants to maybe do more. So Rochelle's adding 2 minutes to your run. I don't know. This is just an example. Ma, is it even dealing with the rods? Is it with where you can, you kind of figure out where the pain is and then you stretch to right before that? I don't know. Just giving examples. How do you stretch yourself? What are some ways that you can increase and make yourself healthier physically, intellectually, with wellness, and also in your social gatherings with considering COVID, and we in the winter and the numbers are going up. Your financial, how can you be a better steward over your finances? How can you start to save and invest? And y'all, as I'm talking to you all, guess what the biggest image is in front of me right now? Me. So, and the last one is spiritual. How can you improve your spiritual health as well? And let's take into consideration on spiritual and social. With the pandemic, the dynamics of a lot of that changed. Virtual space, not being able to gather as much. And I've been honest with you all. A lot of people got through the pandemic. And as a result of getting through and all that you had to muster to get through, the impact post-pandemic is where I struggle. I told y'all, when I get off of here in this second bedroom, I can't be in here on some of the, back office, front office stuff for more than like 25, 30 minutes. I don't know. I spent a lot of time in here during the pandemic. I was good. And I noticed about I'll be honest, about a year ago. So anyway, all right, that's enough of my part with that. I really, really hope that this was helpful to you all as we get ready to approach 2023. I was telling somebody yesterday that so often for me, at birthdays, at the beginning of the year, when fall is coming, when I was in school and whatnot, I'm going to adopt these routines and habits. There is definitely something very different this year. And I hope it's the same for you, that we don't do the what's the word? The cliche sort of, it's a new year and a new me. And then come February, we're back on the same old stuff around mentality. That's the thing that I'm going to finish this book. I'm on chapter 9. I'm going to finish this book and get to this plan. I wrote out a four-page plan thing of routines, habits, schedules, what I need to do, and standards. And let me just mention this a little bit real quick. Sometimes in order to focus on you, you can't deal with a lot of other people, period. Loved ones, unloved ones, and I'm messing. Community, those with need. I got a text this morning from someone that pours their heart out in service. And I scrolled through real quick, but at the end, what stood out to me was that I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. And I saw the word burnout. We shared that Brother Rufus, and I don't like the tone of that article from the Dorchester Reporter, but Dr. Falk, Rufus, is leaving that post with violence prevention and advising the mayor because he's tired and he's burned out. I refuse to get there. And I am in the process of compartmentalizing my life. And there's some stuff that I'm going to put in that box, tie a pretty bow on it, where at one point I can take it off quickly, but I'm embracing that I'm a business and I have a business and I have allowed a lot of things, good, helping people, taking calls, meetings, plans, proposals, listening, advising. Yes. But I want to have a greater impact. And in order to have a greater impact, I need to invest more time, planning, work into this. And I got a whole consultant firm that I haven't even really. So I'm going anyway. This is Mental Health Monday, and y'all know this talking and stuff is cathartic for me. And I love y'all, and I don't care. This is part of the foundation of what we built starting in 2020, keeping it real. Just don't be offended or whatever when I just in this season. And it's making me feel weird even saying it, but a lot of you all that in here are very close and dear to me. And I just, if you hear for where James and what ain't he around and then he don't talk no more. He must think no, I'm trying to be better and be my best. All right, I'm shutting up now. Tomorrow morning, parents especially, and all of you parents, grannies, aunts, and uncles, when this flyer goes up, I need you all to tag parents. Why? Tomorrow morning, we're talking RSV, COVID-19, and the flu. We're mainly going to focus on RSV because our children and some adults are being very heavily impacted by this. And as where in some have referred to as a triple-demic, RSV, COVID-19, and the flu, our hospitals strain, the level of strain because of beds and those needing to be hospitalized, children and some adults with COVID-19 and the flu. We're going to learn a lot about RSV tomorrow. So in addition to COVID-19 and the flu, RSV is impacting our public health. Join us as we learn about RSV. What is it? What are the signs and how is it treated? We'll also get updates about the status of COVID-19 and the most recent vaccination. And so we'll be discussing that tomorrow on Your Healthy Java. All right. So please plan to tune in for that. And on Wednesday the 14th, did I give somebody? This is why. Anyway, and I'm going to do better. If Keys is still on, I'm going to do better at delegating and let them just take the stuff over the way they're supposed to. Yes. All right. I am going to get ready. I'm tired. So today was good. And it's 10 o'clock. Nicole said, will not be missing this. My youngest daughter has chronic asthma. Please, Nicole, share with others and invite them in. Pastor Mary said, y'all better. Oh, y'all better mask. Absolutely. I'll be there. They go to the cesspool. I tell you, y'all leave the kids alone. I'm the same way, though, because in 2020, kids were offensive to me. I didn't want to be around children at all. I called them carriers. Yeah, them in school. If you have kids, a cold that would stay in a house with two adults, maybe for 2 weeks, when you have kids, that thing circulates for about 87 days. I'm messing. Pastor Marion, Leslie, I've been called Leslie. I just haven't been ordained yet, and I'm not big on titles. All right, y'all get ready to go in doing the work. James calls me Pastor Marion, but I'm not an ordained pastor. You always going to be Pastor Marion to me. Everybody getting their own little nicknames up in here. Teresa, Rena Francis, please check your messenger. Oh, Jesus, what the heck are y'all get ready to get into? All right, I'm getting ready to get off of here. Find someone willing to help and encourage me in all 5 areas. And so that is what Stan is going to do. Find someone willing to help and encourage him and all. Stan, and we talked about therapy as well. That's a good action plan, sir. All right. I think that is it. Sister Soraya said, B, I may not be where I need to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. God knows. When I look back over my life, and I see all the things God's done for me. All right. I'm not singing on here. Oh, Pastor. All right. After 5, Sister Leslie, put that out there for me. All right. So don't forget, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we're having that guest to come chat with us about RSV, COVID, and the flu. And for some reason, the 14th is in my head, and I don't know why. But our mayor will be with us right now. They did push her back to the 4th Wednesday. I was trying to get the mayor to come on the 21st, which is before Christmas. And I was going to go to City Hall. We were going to do the interview in her office while she played the piano. Excuse me. And when I mentioned it to her, she was like, oh, that sounds nice. And then scheduling hit me back and was like, no, she can't do the 21st this month. For the past 3 months, the mayor's been on the 3rd Wednesdays. And the one Wednesday I want her on the 3rd Wednesday, she can't do it for the Christmas holiday. Anywho, so, all right, I'm off of here, folks. It is 10:04. Wow, we spent a lot of time together today. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for your Healthy Java, talking about RSV, COVID-19, and the flu. Once this flyer or the other flyer goes up, please tag that, share that, because MGH wants to ensure that we are having the greatest impact as possible. And so please make sure we get that information out there to parents, to teachers, to anybody that has children, daycare workers. Most of them will have their kids, but they can go back and watch. Oh, all right. Have an excellent day, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And remember to be intentional. Oh, all right. Very quickly, after today and in the moment right now, drop one word for your mental health, and then we're going to get ready to go. Teresa, love you too. We're going to get ready to get off of here for the 11 of y'all that are left, because we went long today. After 9:35, 9:40, it never fails. I don't know what happens. I don't know where y'all go, or y'all got something to do, or get with 10 o'clock, but 9:35, 9:40, numbers go way down. All right. Peace. Good. Happy. Mine for today is settled. I'm pretty settled. Not faced with not that I'm not facing challenges, but I'm getting more even keeled. Carlos talked about being on 10, being on 2, and trying to stay in 4 and 7. I'm getting settled. I'm getting a medium, slowly but sure. I'm loving 50s. Let me tell y'all something. Auntie Connie is anticipating, or anticipate is her word for today. Sister Debbie said calm. Miss Teresa, always got to be wonderful, and do 3, love, joy, and happy. Sharon said joy. Ma said happy. All right. That's it for me. Nicole said here. You also send some strength to Nicole, not just here, but also, here and thriving. So we encourage you, Nicole. I understand that. Sometimes it does feel like just being here. I'm here. My grandmother used to say, amongst the Midlands. Oh, who the heck is the Midlands? You got something coming. Teresa, I'm not messing with you. Soraya said peaceful. All right. Thank you all for tuning in today. Today was a great session, especially in the vein of mental health. Invite somebody in the Java Cafe. Definitely invite them to be here tomorrow for this piece on RSV. And we will see you then tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for